Prabir Babu asks, what is the difference between ego and reflected consciousness? Consciousness is reflected in the ego. The ego is a movement of the mind. Notice, abhimanatmika antakarna vritti ahankara. We just read the definition. The appropriating movement or function of the mind or inner instrument is called ego. So it's a movement of the inner instrument. What are they made of? Sattvic parts of the 5 elements. Material. They are not physical matter, they're subtle matter. Consciousness or Atman or Chaitanya is reflected in that. Reflected is just a way of speaking. It's not physically reflected, not like light. So the ego feels aware. It's not only I, but it's an aware I. It's an aware I. So in artificial intelligence, you endow a robot with artificial intelligence. That also has a sense of integrity. It can distinguish itself from its environment. So it behaves as if it has an ego. So you can even say that the robot has an ego. But the ego of the robot is not a conscious ego. There is no reflection of consciousness there. The robot does not actually feel like us, though it behaves like us. In behavior, ego, intellect, memory, all are evident in the robot's activity, if it's a sophisticated device with artificial intelligence and so on. Notice, intelligence, memory, ego, mind, all these can be replicated by computer science today. All these can be replicated. This alone should force modern philosophy of mind to accept that consciousness is not mind. This problem is not very clear. We studied the philosophy of mind in some detail at Harvard in the philosophy department there, and I saw again and again this underlying confusion of consciousness and mind, and leading to many problems. Many of the papers were vitiated by this. A simple insight, the difference between consciousness and mind, would actually solve many of the problems in philosophy. But now you'll be forced to accept consciousness and mind are not the same. Why will you be forced? Here, clear example. The robots in say the Google self-driving car, or the artificial intelligence is being created at IBM and other places, and Facebook and other places. They will replicate all functions of the mind which we just read about. Already memory, these smart devices have memory. Whatever devices we are using now, plenty of memory, better than us. They have intellect. What is artificial intelligence? Buddhi. The ability to take decisions and compute and take decisions, yes. Much better than us. Already Kasparov was defeated by Deep Blue. That is buddhi. Mind, the ability to process information, consider. That is also developed by the something like that is going on in the computer, in the program itself. And a kind of proto-ego. Ego in the sense, the ability to distinguish the robot itself from its environment. Otherwise, no robot can function. If it has a clear sense of its own boundaries, what I am apart from the rest. And yet, here is the clear thing, which is obvious to everybody, and yet nobody acknowledges it. None of this is accompanied by an inner first-person experience of I am, I think, I understand, I remember. No. There is nothing going on in there in terms of conscious experience in the smartest AI-powered robot. Nothing. Though it can duplicate in behavior all our mental activities. So the mental activities and consciousness are different. You feel in the inner awareness, that reflected consciousness, when you think, when you remember, when you take a decision. The robot also remembers, thinks, takes a decision, has no inner awareness. In you, there's a light on in the room. In the robot, the room is working, but it is a dark room. You say, how are you so confident that there is no consciousness in the robot? Ask around. AI people, the designers in Google and Facebook and IBM, are they claiming that their machines and programs are conscious? Nobody claims. None of the experts will ever claim that our products are conscious. So far. Consciousness and mind are different. These definitions make it very clear. All of these things, what we just read, ego, memory, with all the definitions, make it clear that ego, memory, intellect, mind, these are all objective processes. You are aware of them. That which is aware of these processes is consciousness. They shine in the light of consciousness. The Upanishad says, Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. That consciousness shining, all of these are shining. What are all these? Mind, memory, ego, intellect, the pranas, the body. They all are revealed. Not so in a robot. The robot lacks reflected consciousness. If you know it lacks, you just said it lacks consciousness. No, this Atman, Brahman is everywhere, even in that robot. It's there. But that reflected consciousness is not there. And therefore, that inner feeling of I am this. This Vyavaharika Jiva, what we just read now, 73, very important. Distinction between a robot and us. In us, we can be considered as biological robots. What's the difference between us and a mechanical robot? In us, there is a Vyavaharika Jiva, transactional being, transactional sentient being, who is capable of being bound and of being released, of seeking spiritual liberation. The robot has nothing like that going on there. It's a machine which can extraordinarily well imitate our functions of thinking, feeling. Even recently, the mathematician Marcus Satoy, he wrote a book about artificial intelligence creativity. People used to think the last barrier is people who do not distinguish between mind and consciousness. They give poor arguments like this. No. The consciousness means creativity. Nonsense. Totally non-conscious robot can create. Marcus Satoy, he showed me examples. You cannot distinguish literature written by an author and by artificial intelligence. Poetry, art, actual art, design. Can you distinguish? Is this human? Which is the human being and which is the robot? You cannot distinguish. Creativity is not unique to human minds. A robot can be creative also. All of these are objective functions of the Antakarana, which is a material thing. We just saw it is made of 5 elements. Not so in the robot.